the champ of champs delivering every single minute of every single day.
Great shot. That was fabulous.
Neil Robertson, extremely impressive. The man from down under comes out on top convincingly. 4 frames to 1.
Dong played very, very well. John Higgins, though, from 3-2 down, has dug himself out of trouble. He's the winner by 4 frames to 3.
Yes, Neil Robertson beat Tom Ford earlier here at the Champion of Champions, and the two-time winner of this tournament will face John Higgins in tonight's group final after he won a final frame decider. Neil Foles and Stephen Hendry. Another cracking night of snooker to come this evening, Stephen, but let's just look back on this afternoon. And we'll start with Neil Robertson, his match against Tom Ford. Reasonably straightforward for Neil Robertson, but he looks in fine form. What did you make of it?
It was a dominant performance. He he stamped his authority on the match quite quickly, established a 2-0, 3-0 lead. Tom Ford, great break in to sort of get that frame on the board, but it was all about Neil. He was very impressive. It's
difficult, really, to judge just how good Neil Robertson was because Tom Ford didn't really get into that one today.
No, he didn't get many chances. I mean, I think Neil Robertson looks up for it this week. Now, obviously, most players are. You'd say, well, surely they should be all the time. But, you know, when he won in Saudi, missed a couple of tournaments after that because you can't play every week, I don't think, now, the way the travelling is. And the Saudi money meant he hasn't got to play and everything, but he wants to be here because he's won this before, and when he won it, he said it was the 4th major all those years ago. So it looks very, very sharp to me. I think he's been working hard.
Yeah, it'd be great to see how he gets on against John Higgins. These two know each other incredibly well. John Higgins had to work hard for his match. He went ahead, then he went behind, and then went all the way into that deciding frame. Stephen?
Yeah, it 1 each. I said in commentary, it looked like I had 3-3 all over it. Just these players have played so much together the last sort of year and a half, and there have always been close matches. But yeah, John did what John does in the deciding frame. Pretty much, won it quite comfortably in the end. Really, we see it here. This, Zhao Guodong, quite a way short with a roll up there. This was a good shot, wasn't it?
It was, because had he missed that, all the good work to get in that position would have been gone. But I mean, Zhao Guodong's probably a bit sick of the sight of John, actually, because they've played all these times and he's only beaten him once in Shanghai. And he is a really good match player, Guodong, but he's just met his match with John for the most part, hasn't he? Because John does it a little bit better in every department.
Yep.
Well, we'll see John back out here shortly against Neil Robertson. He won't have great memories about the last time they played. The Thunder from Down Under fought back from 5-1 down to beat Higgins 6-5, you'll remember, at the Masters earlier this year. It's another best-of-11 match tonight, and Rob Walker's been speaking to both players ahead of this one.
Neil, when you first came over all those years ago with barely a bean in your pocket, players like John Higgins must have been among those you were desperate to take on, because you'd have seen him already become a world champion before you even came over and turned pro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously, one of my idols growing up, along with Hendry, Williams, and Ronnie. So yeah, I remember the first time just even being in the same practice room with him. It was in Malta actually, and I was so excited I had the same practice time as John, and he started like talking to me, and I was so excited because he was like talking to me, and yeah, no, he's I think that's probably the best part about snooker is that you get to idolise these great players as you're growing up, but you also have the opportunity to compete with them for such a long time. I've been competing with John for nearly 20, about 20 years now, which is just incredible. You really got to pinch yourself when you can play a sport where you do get to compete against the all-time greats of the game. So really pleased for him as well for his return back to form. Last season he had a great season. Started this one quite strongly as well.
Well, John, no rest for the wicked after that marathon against Zhao. You've got to get ready for Neil Robertson tonight. Two titans of the game who so often bring out the best in one another. Could be another epic this evening.
Yeah, I hope so. Now we have some good matches over the years. I've got the utmost respect for Neil. I've said it quite openly. He's produced snooker that nobody's really played. The standard now, he made 100 centuries one year. The only thing missing for his CV is probably more world titles, but I'm sure they'll come. But yeah, he's just a fabulous player.
And all the omens are we could be scraping both of you off the table. English Open Final 2021, 9-8. Tour Championship Final the year after, 10-9. Masters at the start of this year, 6-5. It's going all the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and I came out in the wrong end every one of them, so I suppose I'll Neil maybe win a little bit. Yeah, I'll enjoy it. Listen, I had a really good win against Out. At one point, it looked as if I was going to be on my way home. So, yeah, go in and give it my all. Listen, playing these guys, I know I've got to play near the top of my game because they're just fabulous players.
You tend to bring out the best in one another.
We do, and the matches are just always amazing, you know, really high quality, maximum drama. You know, we've both had matches where one's flown out to a lead and the other one's pegged it back and vice versa. And yeah, I don't know. They just always go close to matches. I don't know why. They just always do. But, you know, I take sort of great pride in that I've been able to compete against them, you know, for so long. And
can you see yourself performing at John's level of ability when you turn 50?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that, you know, Ronnie, Mark and John have really been the ones who have kind of led the way with showing everyone how long you can prolong your career and still be a top player in the game. I think, you know, when, you know, Hendry sort of stopped winning events around when he was like 29, 30, everyone just thought, oh, that's like the standard. Once you get to 30, then you're just going to stop winning. Yeah, but these guys have been able to win, you know, world titles, major events well into their 40s and approaching 50. So they're a huge inspiration for that.
They're both great inspirational players. I mean, they've won everything there is to win in the game many, many times over. They both touched on the number of times they've gone head-to-head. This is their 19th meeting, and they've had some really close match-ups over the course of the last 20-odd years. Stephen, do any of them come to mind, any that stand out in your memory?
That Tour Championship, I think John was 9-4 ahead and Neil managed to win. It was almost like car crash TV because that was a stage of John's career where he was struggling to get over the line in a lot of matches. He's not like that now. He's the pressure balls he's getting now. He's a different player now. But that was hard to watch, and I presume hard to watch for your John Higgins fan. But incredible match.
And you can have sort of recency bias because actually the last time they played, he was 5-1 up, was John, against Neil Robertson, who wasn't even meant to be in the Masters. If you remember, he came in at the last minute because he was not in the 16 and got the win against John. So, but things are different now. You know, those two matches we mentioned were then. John Higgins now, you know, he's playing really well. He's right up in the top flight against 6 in the world. And all that's in the past.
And he came straight here after making the final at the International in China. He's had a little bit of a chance to catch his breath. But he is, you know, into his 50s now. You know, you wonder how that's knocked him about. Will he fade a little bit tonight, or do you think he'll be fresh?
I think that's the thing that makes me side with Neil Robertson for tonight. I think just if only for one reason, the fact that Neil's a lot fresher. John's had that long journey. If the match goes close, if it goes late into the night, will John start to fade a little bit? That's for that reason and that reason alone, because I think they're both playing really, really well. I favour Neil.
Yeah, and whoever goes through, we are gifted by the fact that we've only got world champions going into the semi-finals, which is a remarkable thing to see. Although, you know, we know that we bring out the best of the best here at the Champion of Champions because they're all winners. Yeah,
of course, the only ever winner of this, Mark Allen, has not been a world champion to date anyway. But yeah, I mean, look, this event, the way it is framed up, that you know, the big hitters are usually there or thereabouts, and this year, of course, is absolutely no different, especially with Xing Tong coming to the party as well and also getting through.
Well, they're going to have a look at to see who he will play, the winner of this one. The winner will go through to Saturday night semi-final against Mark Selby. Of course, Selby with that deciding frame win over Mark Williams. So fascinating to see how that one will go. And then, of course, tomorrow night we've got our first semi-final. We're going to see Zhang Xin Tong up against Judd Trump. So it's quality stuff. Can't wait. Let's get the action underway here then, because after the break, play underway. Two former Champion of Champions going head-to-head for a place in the last four. Robertson versus Higgins is coming up next. Welcome back to the Mattioli Arena in Leicester, where we're all set for tonight's group final. As you'd expect, the career head-to-head has been pretty even ever since the first match between Neil Robertson and John Higgins 20 years ago at the Welsh Open. So who will secure the last semi-final spot and join Judd Trump, Zhao Xingtong and Mark Selby in the last four? It's time to find out in the company of your match commentators Phil Yates and Ken Doherty. But first, here's our MC Tahir Hajat to introduce the players.
Good evening and welcome to Leicester as Matchroom Multisport presents to you the sportsbet.io Champion of Champions. And our champions keep on delivering. Tonight's group finalists, two world champions, both in the 1000 Century Club, 59 ranking titles between them, and they have both never played each other in this competition before, just like last night. So let's get them to the table. Up first, please welcome the Wizard of Whistle, John Higgins. And his opponent, the Thunder, from down under, Neil Robertson.
John, would you like to call
the champion of champions,
Tails
always
call.
known
Tails
as an elite tournament, quite rightly
Okay,
so.
thank you.
And you can't get
Neil
more
Robertson
elite
to break.
than a field now made up entirely of kings of the Crucible. And talking of which, my co-commentator is the 1997 champion.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, looking forward to this mouth-watering clash between two of the game's finest.
I think it's fair to say, Ken, based on how they played this afternoon, you would
Thank
make
you.
Robertson
That's
a
fair.
slight favourite.
Neil Robertson to break.
Yeah, I think he was more impressive, scored heavier than his opponent, and had a little bit more time as well in between matches. So that may be a factor if this game goes close. But well, you can never write off this man, John Higgins. Sometimes in tournaments he seems to get better and better. So it's an interesting matchup,
Okay, thank you.
and it's a relishing prospect for both players. I'm sure they will really enjoy this as well. Pitting their wits and their talent, skill, tenacity against each other. First possible chance here for the four-time world champion.
One.
Great pot and good position. Nice way to start a match. Look at that. Lovely and clean. Dragged it in. Lots of bottom on the cue ball. They have to play a little cannon on the red just above the black here. Yeah, just to hold it. But oh, he took his eye
John
off
Higgins,
the pot.
one.
Concentrating on that little cannon.
This evening, Higgins has to try and bandage up a psychological wound. The fact that their last three meetings all ended not just in defeat for Higgins, but in heartache. We've talked about the English Open, 9-8 loss, but he was 8-6 up. We've talked about that Tour Championship. That was a total collapse. 9-4 up, lost 10-9. At the end, he couldn't pot a ball. And then at the Masters,
8.
Higgins led 5-1. That was earlier this year. Eventually he succumbed 6-5. when you suffer one defeat like that, Ken, against an opponent, it's hard to take, but 3 on the trot.
Yeah, and it sticks in the memory as well. It also may have a bearing if this goes close, which you would expect it would do. Just the interesting factor. How much of that journey back from Higgins, from China, and not much break come here, is it going to affect them fatigue-wise? And they line up. Maybe going into the reds here. He's going to be careful. He's going to hit that pink on the right-hand side. Lots of pace. You always need a little bit of luck when you go into the pack, and he certainly got it. He couldn't have asked for better there. That's perfect.
14. Yes,
Well,
okay.
I don't know whether that was a kick or whatever's happened, but he certainly didn't get any purchase on the cue ball there. Finished well short. Asking the referee, John Pellier, to clean the cue ball, so there must be something on it. It's not too bad. He's still got relatively straightforward blue into the green pocket. I thought he was very impressive today, Phil, when he got in amongst the balls, a couple of 90 breaks and then a century. And those couple of 90s, they could have been centuries as well. He looked very sharp, didn't he?
Yes, and it was the old Robertson blueprint, knocking a red from distance and dish. Tom Ford played nicely, even though he only won a frame. It wasn't that he was below par, it was the fact that Robertson was extremely sharp.
He played for the red to the right of the pack, but just got into the cue ball. But he's okay. He's got an alternative here into the left corner. He can just drop this in and hold for the black. Yeah, no problem.
21.
Back in prime position.
$28. $29.
When you're watching two great players play, it's like we are tonight.
36.
And sometimes the first frame has a huge bearing on the match. You know, someone starts fast.
37.
It sort of perks up the opponent. They've got a score, and particularly if they win the frame in one visit. Whereas it's a scrappy frame in the opening frame, and they're both a little bit nervous. They can send to carry on, but I think that's going to happen tonight.
$44. $45.
One of the first significant victories in the career of Robertson was over John Higgins at the 2005 Welsh Open. He won 5-4, but he was a very different player then to what he is now. Came over from Australia quite raw. He was a dynamite potter, but not the heaviest of scorers. In fact, in that match, he only made 1/2 century. Now he's one of the greatest scorers the game's ever known.
53.
Yeah, he's got just a wonderful setup. You'll see it.
60.
He sets up a piston like Q action, bolt straight.
61.
Such a wonderful long putter. As you said, one of the best break builders we've ever seen. And of course he has the temperament to match as well. What makes him such a formidable opponent.
68. $69.
Yeah, that was the important red, acknowledged by the crowd. And now, can you see a century? It would be a good start.
$76. $77.
Yeah, I think the inside red of those two will pot. You may be able to play on that one next to the left-hand side cushion. And you may even be able to bring that
83.
red just out further into play. The one just to the right of this. Oh, but he forgot to pot the red.
83 on the frame.
Again, he threatens a century, doesn't quite complete it, but that was just the kind of start he badly wanted. The venue is the Mattioli Arena in Leicester. The tournament is the champion of champions. Two world champions going head-to-head.
John against the break.
In the last quarter-final to be determined. And it's Robertson in the groove immediately with that break of 83. Reminding Higgins, if any reminder were needed, just how potently he can score. Lots suggest this could run close. When you think, in all of their meetings now, including the first frame, Robertson's won 101 frames, Higgins has won 102. Add to that, it's 10-8 to Robertson head-to-heads, and 9 of those meetings have gone the full distance.
A slightly aggressive safety from John Higgins, trying to bring the black into play. That kiss on the green has given Neil Robertson a possible red here. Oh, very good. Very, very good. Played it with the element of safety, but always knew if it went in, he was going to be on that brown. Just got to be a little bit careful with this brown. It's pretty tight to the ball cushion. He's going to be playing it with a lot of pace. Needs a little bit of care and attention. Yeah, no problem. How's the cue ball? Where's it going to finish? It's okay.
5. Neil Robertson, 5.
Robertson takes great pride in his ability to generate sustained scoring, break after break after break. Missing a red like that will come as a real shock to his system. That was elementary.
One.
And the last thing you want to give John Higgins is encouragement.
Six.
Just travel a little further than he would have liked, but he can still pot this red and get back up for the blue. Yeah, no problem.
7. Yes.
Now, if this red pots into this bottom right corner, the red that's next to the black, he'd love to try and get on that. Yeah, he does. And he'd love to try and get on that red, and that would release the black into the left corner. It's a slow bounce. It's gone a little bit too far, but he may play this red into the left corner and still hold for the black, because we know the black is available into the right corner pocket.
$13.
Nice to see John Pellew refereeing a match of this importance.
$21.
He's a real gentleman, is John, and he puts in so many hours at qualifiers and at the various championship leagues during the year. There he is.
28. 29.
He was looking for an angle on this red to possibly go into the pack of reds, but I don't think the angle is that great, so he might play for the loose red. Left of the pack and may wait for a better opportunity. Yeah. Now,
36.
last available red, so needs a good angle on blue or black here.
$37.
He's got to be careful. This is not an ideal position where the pink is. He's got to hit the pink almost just full ball, but he could lose the cue ball here. Oh, he's played it well. Now, how's your look? It's not too bad. He'll settle for that. Excellent
42.
shot.
$43.
And this is exactly
50.
what he would have wanted when he saw his opponent make an 83 break from his miss black in the first frame.
51.
Swift response and a clinical one.
The longevity of John Higgins at the top of the game is simply mind-boggling. He
57.
spent the last 30 years as a member of the top 16, barring 1 week late last
58.
year. That pesky week.
$65. $66.
Well, this frame pretty much wrapped up.
$73. $74.
Wonderful standard, isn't it? Just what we were
79.
hoping for. And they're certainly delivering, both players. Great start.
80.
Almost a 9-minute frame, the very first frame. This is only 11 minutes and counting.
85.
I think that red next to the right centre pocket will pot if he gets right behind it. And he doesn't need to
86.
move it away from the cushion. He'll just come around and have a look at exactly where he wants to put the red. But I think there's plenty of room away from the cushion to pot that red.
$91. John Higgins, 91.
Super stuff from John Higgins. Neil Robertson missed a very simple red. Higgins went to work and he achieved the equaliser. Just the kind of start we expected. Neil Robertson launching the match with an 83. John Higgins
Neil Robertson to break.
replying with 91. Let's hope the pattern has been established.
Well, not a great break off from Neil Robertson. He's left this red into the right centre. Oh, he didn't want that kiss, and this cue ball's gone very close to this corner pocket.
Foul.
That's
for
unlucky.
Neil Robertson.
I think the most unlucky shot I've seen in this tournament so far after potting a ball had to be Stephen Maguire yesterday, but that one was also cruel. Yeah, Maguire made 44, split the reds, a rogue red went up the table and nudged in the yellow. Couldn't do it again if he played the shot 1,000 times.
Surprised himself there. He thought that was in as he hit it. It's a shot he normally knocks in. Yeah, these are tough off the cushion. Bit of pace. Yeah, not easy.
Gentlemen, You need to be quiet when the player's on the shot, please.
John Pellew admonishing some members of the audience for being a little noisy. But even in the most cathedral-like silence, that shot would have been really, really tough.
Thank you. 1.
He's got a nice angle. He can go into the right-hand side of the bunch. Just doesn't have to go in too hard. He can just nudge 1 or 2 out. He'll always be on that red, just to the left of the black. Yeah, just a delicate little cannon. Just brought 1 red out, but it's okay.
8. Nine. $16.
He's on this red. He'll probably play for the blue here. I just wonder, will he leave a nice angle on the blue this time? Oh, it's gone too far for the blue. He was playing for the
17.
blue, but that's not good.
$19. 20.
Just trying to work out the configuration of the reds and the reaction they might create.
$26.
Just trying to work out where he's going to leave the cue ball, low on the black or high on the black. I think just the way the pack is situated, maybe high on the black will be better. Let's see what his choice is.
Thank you. 27.
I'll be able to go into the pack from there. He may have to play on this loose red near the left-hand side cushion, I think. Now, once again, same scenario.
34.
High or low on the black. May even go for the blue. Yeah. Oh, he's got into it too much. Look at how far that cue ball has travelled. That's a couple of times earlier on. He overshot the cue ball for the blue, and once again out of position.
Earlier this week we were saying the table might be a little more responsive. Those problems have been well and truly eradicated. Hardly put any effort into that and it's zipped back.
Has he spotted something in the middle of the pack that he can get on it? Maybe a possibility of a plant. No, he's trying to go into the pack. Have a look at this for a shot. Oh, what a shot. What a shot that is. Well, one of the best shots of the week so far, without a shadow of a doubt. Have a look at the pace, power he gets into the cue ball, arcs it into the pack. And, well, deserved what he got. Perfect on this red in the corner. Brilliant shot.
Hot shot all over.
$39.
Clearly anticipated a thicker kiss off the secondary red.
Well, he's followed a hot shot up with an absolute shocker. That was a terrible shot with a black. For a left-hander, this is not great because he has to use the rest. He can't reach over, even though he's well over 6 foot, Neil. So he's had to play this. A lot of right-hand side, maybe. It's missable, this. Oh, he's played it well. He's played it very well. Good recovery. Very, very good.
46.
Yeah, didn't want to leave the black like that, but now it's done him a backhanded favour. He's
47.
Right in for 2-1.
$54. $55.
It's pretty clean, clinical stuff so far, Ken.
Well,
61.
There's always great anticipation, you know, when two greats
62.
come together. You just don't know what you're going to get. You're hoping that they play at their best, but at the moment, that's exactly what they're producing. This is incredible standard. The only thing we're missing is a century here. We've had 83 in the first, 91 in the second.
69.
It really is.
70.
Just great to watch. Very fluent. It's just sort of no miss snooker. You miss a ball, you sit down with the rest of the frame.
77.
That's what's happened in these opening exchanges.
78.
The
85.
third frame effectively in the books. The match has been in progress for
86.
just coming up to 32 minutes.
$93. 94.
Turn up. Robertson's 26th
100.
century of the season.
102.
For his career, Ken, 1008.
Fantastic. Really has been.
105.
And that green that he played, you know, to split the pack in the middle of this break was just sensational. Really was.
109.
And I love the speed at which he's playing as well.
114.
19 seconds now down to John Higgins at 20.
$120. 127.
Right now, you wouldn't bet against Neil Robertson reaching his 7th Champion of Champions semi-final. He leads 2-1. What we've come to expect here. Two of the game's giants going head-to-head, producing a very high standard. Just a note, Robertson's century there was the 14th in the tournament so far. 9 players have made at least one. Mind you, it takes something to equal or bypass the record, which is 31 centuries. 2018 and 2020, those were made. Ken leaving the cue ball on the blue spot with reds everywhere, not the recipe for success against Robertson.
No, and highly unusual for John Higgins, such a master tactician. And doesn't often fall down. I mean, it wasn't a very difficult safety shot, just got too much right hand side to kiss the blue there. Can Neil pop one of these reds and get on that black? Not entirely straightforward, this. Yeah, you have to kiss another red, and it's gone wrong. You won't be taking the black on from there, so it's not going to cost John Higgins too much.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Really big frame, this. If it goes 2-all, reset at the interval. No damage done. But Robertson isn't missing a trick. Spider path through for the red, played the shot to nothing. But he's on something.
Five. Six.
Once again, inch perfect positional shot with this red. Couldn't have played that any better.
11.
Yeah, just play a cannon on that middle red, one directly above the black, and that will free up 2 reds here. Yeah, nicely played.
$18.
Apart from missing that dolly red to middle in the second frame, he's looked $1 million.
26. $27. $34.
Well, we've got a couple of options. Red into the right centre. This red at the bottom of the little cluster beneath the pink. If he takes that red, he'd be going into other red. So that's what he's just saying. Can he just play a little cannon on that red just above it, and knock the pink into play, possibly for the left centre? Delicate little shot. He only has to screw the cue ball back to, well, somewhere in the vicinity where it is now, but just watch the pink come out here. Well, now he's playing it with topspin this time, and it's okay. He's played for the black.
35.
A little bit too much pace.
The first obvious examination of the break. Ken, given what's gone before, Higgins must be fearing the worst here.
Yeah, just sit there and bide his time. It's not completely over just yet. He's got to negotiate another good pot here, and when you're running into other balls, which he will be if he takes this red on into the middle, that John will be sitting there. Well, he said this might be a chance. Should he miss? And there you go. Oh, it's amazing the amount of times you see that. You're trying to pot a red, the cue ball is going into another red or reds, and if that red wasn't there, the second red, there's no way would he have probably missed that red into the left centre. It just takes your focus off the pot.
Yeah, the red wasn't a wobbler. He missed that by some distance. Overcut it badly.
One.
Good pot. He's unlucky there. He's tried to knock the black towards that corner pocket, but look where it's landed. He's got no chance of getting out for a red. He might just have to pot the black for 7 points. And if he does, he's going to leave himself a difficult pot. He may just take his medicine, take the 7 points, and maybe if he doesn't go for a pot, make sure he gets that cue ball nice and tight to the ball cushion.
Yeah. 8. John Higgins, 8.
He's coming down. Have a look at this red, just left of the pink spot. Can he pot that into the left corner? Has he got enough of it? No, just a safety. Trusting the table. He was trusting the table, but
6.
when you're rolling at that pace, you want it to roll straight. As you can see, I'm as disappointed that would have drifted to the right into the pink, and what a golden opportunity now for John Higgins.
1.
If he could draw level again, they'd go into the interval all square, but Higgins would be feeling cock-a-hoop. Robertson would be a little deflated.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard cock-a-hoop in the commentary box, Phil. I'll take your word for it.
Sam.
It was either that or over the moon. I didn't really want to go down that cliche route.
But Neil Robertson, well, he'll be kicking himself if he loses this frame.
$15.
And John,
16.
the obviously importance of leveling the match up, but it will. He knows that it will hurt Neil Robertson even more. Seeing the cue ball just drift slightly, give him this chance. Shots like that can stick in the mind of players, and they can feel hard done by.
23. Yes.
Doesn't look happy, does he?
Higgins getting some extension on the cue. That was his first shot
24.
with the rest of any variety in the match, and he played it to perfection. And this afternoon, he used the rest 6 times and he was unblemished.
$31.
The grimace because he's got that age-old middle distance test of cueing.
$32.
Well, he's had a quick look to see if the 2 reds, if one of them is available into the yellow pocket. He's got a nice angle. He could split them up here if he wanted. No, he's played for them, so obviously available. And he's inch perfect.
39.
Quick glance at the score. He's 10 points behind, or in front, I should say.
$40.
Yeah, lovely shot. Always in matches, you think we'll go close. There's always a turning point.
46.
This could be one, particularly if John Higgins steals it.
$47.
And so often in a big clearance, the key shot is black to yellow. That's all Higgins needs, the black and the yellow.
He's played it nicely.
54.
Another glance at the score just to make sure. 25 ahead. No heroics trying to get close to the green, just make sure it is yellow. Looks pretty good. Excellent shot.
56. $59.
Sometimes in snooker, numbers lie. Robertson scored nearly 100 more points
63.
than Higgins, but he's got nothing to show for it at the interval whatsoever.
68.
They've got a history of titanic tussles, and this one looks exactly the same. Thrust and counter thrust.
74.
Been highly entertaining, hasn't it? And more to come, I'm sure, after the interval.
81.
First half of the
John
match,
Higgins.
a delight to watch. And it sets up what should be a terrific conclusion. Neil Robertson and John Higgins, 2-2 at the break.
51 minutes played, and while Neil Robertson has significantly more points than John Higgins in the match, the scores are tied, and 92% pot success from both players as well. 2 frames apiece, real attacking snooker from both players, no quarter given. We have a proper game in our hands here this evening. Stephen and Neil enjoying this one. 2-2, long way to go in this one so far, but does that feel about right from what we've seen?
I think it does, yeah. I mean, Neil was obviously, he's lost 2 frames from 2 easy pots missed in the middle pockets. So if they go in, you can argue he wins all 4 frames because he's the way he's scoring. But John's scoring just as heavily, 91 and 81, so he looks just as deadly when he gets in amongst the balls. So I think 2-2 is pretty fair, actually.
It's going to end up being whoever manages to make the least mistakes by the looks of things, Neil.
Yeah, and also I've been told that excluding break-off shots, just 6 safety shots. Well, these 2, you wouldn't have thought that. It's been very open.
Proper snooker.
It's proper snooker, but it might not stay that way. You know, it might end up, becoming a little bit, if it stays close, more tactical. But one of the few shots missed was actually straight away. You know, John missing this. You know what he's thinking. He's thinking about steering the cue ball up onto the red and all that stuff. And he's made the cardinal sin, really, of forgetting the pot a little bit. And then Robbo got in, and this worked out well. He hit the reds flush, but he landed pretty nicely and got him off to a good start, really, didn't it? But this was a surprise as well, wasn't it, Stephen?
I mean, it's just a glaring miss, really. I mean, there's no reason for missing that at all, other than you just forget you're looking at the cue ball, or you're thinking about position rather than the pot. You just take your eyes, take it for granted. But John took full advantage, and as I say, I thought this afternoon John looked really good. I know it was a tough match, 4-3, but I thought John looked as if he was playing really, really well. There's a couple of shots in this break, Neil, just beautiful ball striking. I'm going to see one coming up where I think if Neil and I tried, it would dislocate our shoulder. This one coming up, I mean, look at this. Look at the twizzle he gets on that. I mean, there's no way.
That was a hot shot, wasn't it?
Definitely tremendous shot. And, he went on to win the frame. He actually got out of a position soon after and recovered with that lovely black. So it goes well. From that shot to this one now, OK, look, he's probably thinking, I'm unlucky the table's rolled off, but you're going to drop onto a ball 12 feet.
It's absolutely fraught with danger, that shot, isn't it?
You're asking for trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he found it.
Yep, it was, and then obviously again, it's you can't put someone like John Higgins in the balls like that. Just gift him chances like that. Neil's shaking his head. I think he's been unlucky. And listen, he has if the table's rolled off, but still, the shot is not the. I don't believe it's the shot to play anyway. A couple of little nice positional shots from John here, and he takes advantage, doesn't he?
Yeah, on that basis, Neil could be slightly the more disappointed. He's led a couple of times, but John's pretty rock solid and. We kind of are where we started, which is no great surprise to us.
Great rhythm as well. Quite low average shot times for both players, 20 and 22. Average frame time, 12 minutes. We've often seen this in these matches in the evenings where they get into a great rhythm and a pace. And then as it gets towards the business end of the match, things just slow down. It gets a little edgier, doesn't it?
It's been the pattern that all players have started like a train in these matches, scoring well, as I say, very little safety. But as the pressure mounts at the end of the match, that's what it naturally happens. The sort of the high breaks tend to dry up. It becomes a little bit more negative, if you were, maybe shots being refused and stuff. But the quality so far, all week actually, has been incredible.
Yeah, and we've had deciding frames the last couple of nights. The way things are looking at the minute, could we be getting a third in a row?
For sure.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I mean, Stevens will be watching this tonight. I know he's finishing now, but no doubt wherever he goes, he'll be going straight to the television to watch the end of the match because he's missed a snooker.
Yeah, and rightly so, because it's going to be high-quality stuff. Now, the way that Neil Robertson's playing, he knows if he's in and doesn't make any mistakes, he's got the game at the moment. How does he eradicate those little errors creeping in?
It's very hard to do that, actually. You get to the table and you tell yourself, I'm going to focus, I'm going to concentrate 100%, but just all of a sudden, and you never know what's going to happen, otherwise you'd never do it. It just, all of a sudden you'll think, oh, look at where the white ball's going, and then you take your eye off the pot. It just, you don't know what's going to happen, and it can happen at any stage.
I'm going to message you later and ask you what you thought of how the last few frames panned out.
I think we should. I think we should. Well, we'll find out tomorrow anyway, because you will be back.
I'll be watching.
Because they're playing, obviously, for a place in the semi-final on Friday night against Mark Selby. Fascinating to see who goes through. We do know it will be an all-world champion lineup, which is fantastic. OK, we're going to get to the break now. But when we come back, well, it's 2-2 at the moment. We'll bring you the conclusion to tonight's last group final. John Higgins, Neil Robertson going for that last semi-final place.
bottom line, so good. Has got us back on level terms. We've had a couple of deciders already in these evening matches. Will we need another one? By the way, they played 9 before and Robertson's won 2. Sorry, Robertson's won 7. Higgins has won 2. So the omens are good for Robertson, but he doesn't particularly want to be 5 each. He wants to try and get going again, take a grip on the match, and maybe exploit, if there is any tiredness in John Higgins, exploit that.
As ever, John looking to play some kind of percentage shot and taking on the pot.
One.
There you go, Neil, your luck's turned.
Yeah, and on 2 counts, he's got a nice angle on the green.
Four. Five.
No, it just has the angle. I think he can use his power to shift the red.
12. Thirteen. 20. Neil Robertson,
Wow.
20.
Straight red to middle.
Yeah, almost a carbon copy of the one he missed earlier.
Higgins overcuts the red. We've seen this already this week, haven't we? You know, the interval, we often talk about it helping a player behind. But we saw last night, 2-2, it was really fluent, flowing. And somehow when they came back out, Selby and Williams, it just got a bit bogged down after the interval. It's almost like going off for the 15 minutes, just sort of blunted their focus. I'm not saying it's going to go like that here, but we've already seen a couple of balls missed that maybe He wouldn't have done before the interval.
One.
Yeah, we've also spoke about the conditions this week, the size of the pockets. There was evidence of it there. Neil, as all the top players do, can read and exploit conditions. So taking on that red, there was lots of value. Now perhaps the payoff.
9.
I must confess, watching him today, he's looked razor sharp
16.
when he gets in. I know those two silly misses to right centre. I kind of stopped him in his tracks tonight a couple of times, but he looks so good when he gets in.
$17. $24.
Players down the years have had trademark shots. I think this has become one of Neil's. This time he might not screw to side cushion. Yeah, it was. I was about to say just he'll catch the pink and kill the cue ball in the middle of the table. That was deliberate.
13.
Because if he catches the right half of the pink, he perhaps doesn't get this as good a split as that.
$31.
I think he's just considering that the cannon and the three reds together is so tempting because he's bound to be on one.
$36.
But the alternative was played very well.
$37.
So it's looking like the key miss in this frame was not the straight red to middle from Robertson. It was the next shot when John Higgins overcut the red to left corner. It means Robertson can just forget about his miss as long as he takes the frame out now. Not got much more to do. Just having a look at this potential plant to left corner. But he had options, and
42.
it's just a couple of pots away from a 3-2 lead. It's interesting, he could
43.
remember, we saw in the interview, he could remember the first time he met John in that practice room in Malta. It obviously was a big deal for him because he'd watched the likes of Higgins and O'Sullivan, Williams, Hendry, the greats growing up. Suddenly he was amongst them, playing them. When he won that Tour Championship, of course he was 9-4 down to Higgins in the final, won 10-9. He had every reason
48.
and every right to celebrate in a big way. He didn't. And that was a mark of respect to John Higgins. He didn't want to rub his nose in it.
49.
However, of course, he still wants to beat him whenever he plays him. Tonight, no exception.
Yes. Yep. 56.
Well, this red has still got a chance. Yeah. Don't use up all the flukes in the first frame of the night, Neil. You might need a few later. What it means is you can still make a century.
$64. 65. $72. 73.
Of course, Robertson joined O'Sullivan, Higgins, Trump in being one of only 4 players to make 1,000 centuries in competition this season. It was a little low-key, to say the least. It was at a qualifier for the International Championship in Sheffield. There's no audience. His opponent had a friend there who celebrated with Neil. That was about it. So just one of those things, but it was still a great achievement.
81. $88. 90. Thank you. 93. 97.
Well, he's not played as much snooker as some of the other guys this season, but this is for his 27th century of the campaign.
102.
Joint second with Mark Selby behind Sean Murphy, who's on 33.
108.
So as I say, it wasn't the Robertson miss that was big, it was the Higgins miss that followed it. Neil Robertson has taken advantage in second century of the night. And for the third time tonight, he's won in front. It's 3-2.
John will be disappointed the red that he played is a possible shot to nothing for Neil, but he's playing the even more difficult one. That red being covered in baulk complicates matters for now. And that was as unlike a John Higgins safety shot as you're ever likely to see. He didn't foresee any chance that he could leave a cutback for Neil.
Eight. Nine.
Century just made, by the way. He's 37th in the Champion of Champions. Only Ronnie O'Sullivan has made more with 46. It's a tournament where he's enjoyed a lot of success. Of course, won it twice. He's looking for his 7th semi-final in 12 appearances.
Neil Robertson, 9.
Well, the cardinal sin, of course, is to miss the blue, but has he left Higgins anything, is the question.
Yeah, he's got quite a nasty cut to centre. He almost feels duty bound to press here because of the mistake.
One.
Good pot, just about on the black, but pressure on it.
John Higgins,
Up until
1.
now tonight, John has stood up to Neil. He's scored when he's got his chances in the main. That's the first. I mean, it's a tiny sign of weakness. I'm talking about, the possibility of fatigue and that kind of thing setting in. I mean, we'll never really know, but the first real sign of weakness by John.
One. Eight. 9.
Well, it looks like help yourself time, really, doesn't it, for Robertson? He's made 2 centuries tonight already and 83 as well. We'll see, though. Anything in this game can go wrong at any time. Thing is, you're always likely to
16.
be on a red somehow, even if it's not the one you played on.
$17.
I think winning the Saudi event, obviously the $500,000 was great, but it's also just given him a little bit of freedom this season. He's pulled out of a couple of tournaments. He still played plenty though, so he's got a good balance. He's not sort of ground himself down. Equally, you know, he's not rusty either. He's played as much as he feels he's wanted to. Clearly come here this week feeling good about things and has played terrifically well already today.
$19.
Well, it's going to have to be the one on the left-hand side.
$20. $22.
Yeah, it should be a straightforward put away now.
23.
Just going back to the black that John missed. I think as you get a bit older and you don't put in as many hours practice as you used to, you become more susceptible to missing those little tricky shots, mainly because you don't play them as often as you did in your younger days.
30.
Now, those kind of memory shots that, you know, you don't play them that often, as often as you used to, they can go wrong.
31. $37. $38. $45. $46.
So one more red after this yellow required. And for the first time, he'll be 2 frames in front tonight. Is the Higgins challenge starting to fade?
48.
This was always the kind of danger. Not least, though, because of the way Robertson's playing. It's not just that John might be feeling a bit tired. He's playing someone who's playing seriously well.
49. $56. 57.
Well, there is still enough on for another century because these two reds are going to have to be dealt with.
$64.
He's desperate to make it as well. He's trying to fashion some sort of plant here. $64 will do. John Higgins missed the black.
64 on the frame.
And he's in danger of missing the boat. The next frame for him is big. He's got to try and stay in touch. Neil Robertson playing very well indeed. And he leads 4-2. Unforced errors now because he's being punished for them.
Yeah, a great pot, and that would have felt so good. The sound of it even will please John. The way that it went in. That's as good a shot as I've seen all week long. That was right out of the top drawer. That'll give him some belief that he can not only mount a challenge in the match, but you know, eventually win it. I know he's used to doing that, but if he was feeling like you know, a wee bit fatigued or whatever, that'll give him a kick start, I think.
Four. 11.
We have some news, by the way, of the man beaten last night, Mark Williams. Tonight he's 100 quid at the bingo, so he's very happy. Certainly not sat at home sulking, put it that way.
$12. Yes.
Poor contact.
19.
So, something of a change of plan. I don't know whether John can keep on black off this red. More likely to go back up table, yeah.
$20.
But that was the problem. He was a wee bit too straight. Okay, the pink goes, so that helps.
Give me a minute, please, John.
One good thing we do know about John today, he's playing very well. If he gets his chances, they've all got to go and look
26.
about them, so that's a positive.
$27.
Oh, that was a gem.
34.
Almost had to hit them with a glancing blow and then get the delayed spin.
$35.
Well, I guess we should have known he wasn't going to go away, because he hasn't gone away for 3 decades, has he? John Higgins, such an extraordinary competitor. Good match this afternoon. Zhao Guodong didn't do a lot wrong actually at the end. Higgins from 3-2 down controlled 2 frames really well.
$41. $46. $47. $54. $55.
There's a slight feeling at the start of the night this match could get a bit bogged down. They might try and cancel each other out. Not a bit of it. It's been very open. It's been fast flowing, fluent. John Higgins, importantly, coming to the party here in frame 7 with what looks like a 1 visit.
62.
Just needs to pop these next two balls to make sure.
63. Empty.
Yeah, it's been a terrific response. You would have known at the outset of this frame, not a must win, but not far off it. So under pressure, this has been a superb effort.
71. $78. $79. Yes. Thank you. $85. $86.
Deliberately playing on the black because the two open reds make the ton. Greedy so-and-so this fella. Yeah, pity.
John against 86.
Even so, terrific break. Just what he needed. A quick kill from Higgins. And he's still very much in this. Now trailing 4-3. For a place in the final.
Hang on, John, please. Okay, thank you. Again, the 8th frame.
See John
John
Higgins.
against the break.
So pleased with that last frame. He couldn't wait to break off here. It was a good 86, wasn't it? To keep himself in contention.
Yeah, in behind the brown is inviting, but it's still got to be played properly, this safety shot. Yeah, played it well. But you've got to hide it.
One.
Even better than John's. Well, he certainly thought he had, hadn't it? Enough water, red dispatched. Yeah, just perusing the black spot to see what's going on with it, but this is one of those, just make sure of the pot as best you can, because pink and reds and all sorts on, if he can take care of this one shot. Well done. Yeah, you can see them there, they're sitting absolutely beautifully, the reds.
8. Nine.
Well, so far tonight, Neil Robertson's made breaks of 83, 127, 115, 64, which is also a frame-winning break. So if you're John Higgins, you're already fearing the worst.
14.
There've been times, haven't there, where Robertson has got a little bogged down, and he always checks his average shot time, and there's been, you know, occasions where it's in the sort of high 20s. Well, it's 20 seconds a shot tonight, and this is where he plays his best snooker. Just getting on
50.
with it, being decisive.
Twenty-one. 22.
'It'll never be the case that one shot on its own will determine the outcome of a best of 11 match, but that long red, it's certainly a candidate, if there ever there was one, on the back of John playing a superb safety shot.
35. 36.
'This is it. What a pot. I mean, I don't have any influence with the hot shots people, but if I did, that would be going in, and it might be winning. Depends on whether he wraps the frame up, but the bravery to play it as much as anything else.
$42. 43.
Shouldn't be a major problem, but his cue ball's going to have to travel in potting this pink, so he's got to double down on his positional play in this one. One thing he doesn't want is to play a cannon if he can help it. He wants the cue ball perhaps to go round the back of that top red. Just about okay.
49. 50.
I think it's the first time today, yeah, the blackout of commission adds to it. The first time today when he's been in, he's been quite studious and not slow, but he's kind of making sure. He senses that this could be the key visit of the match. Almost
55.
there, one good positional shot for pink to opposite corner, and it should be a done deal, this frame. And that's
56.
it.
$62. 60. Lee Robson, 62.
No way. Wow. That was just
60.
totally out of the blue. And he thought it was in. He was on the walk.
You know the amount of times I bang on about finishing the shot properly. He was up and away, but to get away with it as well. Let's have a look at it again. Watch Neil's body. Up and away. Too quickly. Not a criticism, he's just probably feeling that good. John's not the kind of player, obviously, you want to be 62 in front with 6 reds left. Yeah, that's a beauty. That's very good. He has no wriggle room at all now, John. He might have even left an outside chance of a shot to something, but that was excellent. Just hoping that he can get one chance at this, John. Yeah, the red, he's going to be attempting. I actually think the black being in the way in some way helps this shot. It kind of forces you to cut the red thin to miss the black, and it actually helps the pot in some way. Let's see. See that? He got it nice and thin. It's just strange how a colour that has nothing really to do with the shot can actually help it. See, any thicker and he contacts the black, so he's got to get thin contact.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Just looking to chip the brown safe for a bit of security. As Alan says, you know, Higgins has got a well-earned reputation for clearing up from this sort of position. Yeah, not one of his best, so one good pot should be 5-3. But that's not it. And he's brought those reds into play. Well, it's a good job he pushed the brown safe.
Yes. Thank you. 1.
Yeah, straight was the prize, and don't think he can hold for the red down this end, so forced to play for the red in bulk before he would have wanted to. He's tried to hold. That's nicely done. I think just the fact that the cloth is playing nicer, you can spin it the way you want to. That was helped that shot.
Thank you, John. 9.
Yes, it's going to be the red in bulk this time, one feels.
16. Okay. John against 16.
Well, he's covered 2 of the 3, but not the other one. Yeah, didn't get on the red as intended, as we saw. Took on the long one, hasn't potted it. Neil Robertson once again with a chance to put the frame away. No, massively overcut it actually.
Yeah, another half chance. John just checking his numbers. The way a snooker player thinks in this, being 47 behind, he has 3 points to play with. As far as colour value. So job number 1, get on blue, pink or black off this.
One.
Yeah, the green's no good to him. Alright, you could still get a respot, but it's not what he was after.
Four. Five.
Well, this is just unravelled because, of course, he needs blacks now. So taking the blue means he needs a snooker.
Yeah, there's every chance that John might play to get the pink or black off this red. Gonna have to pot it at some stage, may as well do it now. Yeah, that should be end of frame.
John against 10.
Yeah, David said just unravelled. He got himself in a bit of a pickle. Unfortunate, I suppose, off the initial red with the contact on the blue. But gone now. Should be 5-3.
One.
Robertson will be relieved because he struggled to kill the frame off, didn't he? He potted the Wonder Red to get in, was sailing towards maybe another century, then unexpectedly missed on 62, had a couple of chances after that. Anyway, the main thing for him is he's won the frame, and he needs one more to set up a big clash with an old rival, Mark Selby, who he's been playing since they were teenagers. not least here in Leicester, of course, at Willie Thorne's, when Neil was kind of introduced to UK snooker when he came over initially in the late
13.
90s. The club's gone, but the players of that era who flourished there are still doing so now. And Neil Robertson will be looking for one more frame to put himself into the semi-finals on Saturday. He leads John Higgins by 5 frames to 3. And we're waiting for the Australian to return. He'll be hoping to kill this off, of course. He doesn't want deciders and close finishes, late finishes. He's made 2 centuries. He could have had a couple more. Overall, playing really well. Higgins, as well, has at times shown flashes of his best, but he's now got to find his best, doesn't he, if he is to turn this round. Just a reminder, no play tomorrow afternoon, so the first semi-final will be tomorrow evening. Judd Trump and Xiao Tong, and the winner of this match plays Mark Selby on Saturday night.
Thank you. The 9th frame, Neil Robertson to break.
Doesn't miss anything, does he? Spotted the yellow, wasn't quite on its spot. Anyway, we're ready to go. Frame 9 of a possible 11.
One.
Where did that come from? What a pot.
Yes, long game actually has been superb in this match, 83% from distance. But It's not just about getting in, of course, it's about staying in.
Yeah, just when you thought it was safe to assume that Neil was on his way through to the semi-final, back comes John with a thunderbolt.
3. Four. 9.
Needed to come a bit further. Oh, nicely done, though.
Seventeen. 18.
'That'll do nicely. Red looks to be on. Left
25.
centre sure is.
$26.
I get the feeling John is really enjoying playing at the moment. You know, it comes in peaks and troughs, enthusiasm. He'd lost a little bit in early season, but just seems in a good place, and that means more likely to turn this round, I guess. You know, he's been away from home quite a while. He went out to China. Next week he's going to Saudi, but I think his attitude is the more tournaments the better right
32.
now, because his game is certainly there.
$33.
Okay, now he's got to get quite deep on his cue ball, 2 cushions here. He just doesn't want to flirt with the green because it's spinning well, the table. Yeah, he sort of delayed it. That was nice. Did want them
38.
sort of looser of the reds, if you like, but perhaps can't quite get through to it. The one more sort of nearest the cue ball is a wee bit more awkward. Back for blue. Or is it just dab it through? Yeah, oh. Yeah, it was obviously tight, and the other red was putting him off slightly. He just couldn't quite make his mind up on which way to play it. he's interested in the plant. John will feel unfortunate if this is on. Not far away, it's kind of set for the top jaw. But in it goes, and he's going to be on the brown. You see it there, just set on the top jaw.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Well, it's just been the odd miss, unexpected miss from Robertson tonight amongst all the good stuff, and that was another one. He seemed to take quite a while over it, thinking about sort of the plan ahead and how he's going to take the match out, but didn't pot the brown. So John Higgins, reprieve, 37 in front as he comes back to the table with a serious chance now to pull another one back.
One.
With a shake of the head, he's just left this a bit awkward.
Yeah, he just potted it on the thin side, hence losing the cue ball. Good news, he's got nothing really to do with the cue ball. It should hold off the reds on the left wing, but must get the pot. The rest he has no control over. Shot. Well done.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah, nicely done. It's actually that shot that you just potted. The more modern cue that most of the players use now actually helps with that type of shot. There's a bit more weight behind it to keep the red on its line. So, shouldn't be a problem now, closing to 5-4.
17.
Yeah, an unexpected miss on the brown from Neil Robertson. It's just opened the door for Higgins.
$24.
He's just refusing to go away.
$25.
Neil Robertson is very good at accentuating the positive, and if he does win, that's what he'll do, and understandably
30.
so. But there's been a few balls he's missed in this match. A couple of balls to the right middle, red to right corner in the last frame, and the brown to right middle in this
31.
frame that can't afford to be missing, certainly as he goes deeper in the event, if he does, because he hasn't won this match yet.
38. 39. 46. 47. 53. 54.
So we've had half-century breaks in every frame. Indeed, in 2 of them we've had centuries. It's been,
59.
say, a free-flowing contest, just punctuated with the odd unexpected error.
61.
Still anyone's match.
$64.
Yeah, and this contribution will do him good going into the next frame. I think early on in this frame he wasn't quite in stroke. You know, the odd mistake and nailed
68.
that incredible long red that I think really hurt John in the frame before. So this contribution just kind of gets him back into something like good nick again, I think.
73. 79.
Yeah, good clearance this. But it came off the Neil Robertson error, the Miss Brown, after he nailed the plant from distance.
Neil Robertson.
So John Higgins, as I say, not going away. Just 1 in it. Robertson needs 1, Higgins 2. It's 5-4 Robertson. And of course the danger now for Robertson is that Higgins forces the decider in a match that Robertson will feel he's had chances already to win. Missed that brown in the last frame when the reds were really nicely spread. Indeed, Higgins made 79 from the lead he got.
John has the cut back on offer. Yeah, it's worth playing this guaranteed decent cue ball. Oh, good pot. How's the angle on the brown? Not great. But must have something to work with, playing it quickly. Oh, and that looks perfect. What a shot.
5. Six. 13.
Definitely got his eye
14.
in it just at the minute, John. I do think that 79 break that he made at the tail end of the last frame does help him in this moment of the match. He'll be feeling good about now. He's also won his last 5 deciders this season. I know he's not there yet, but he'll be feeling good about now, I think. And also the fact that he's gone into the pack tells you just that.
21.
20 reds in the open now to win it in one visit.
$22.
Well, the last 2 nights, this group final has gone the distance. Of course, Yazing Tong beating Karen Wilson on the last black. Last night, Mark Selby outlasting Mark Williams.
26.
Players are so evenly matched, of course. They're all winners in the last year on the World Snooker Tour.
$30.
Yeah, correction, it's actually his last 6
31.
deciders he's won this season, but it doesn't really matter. The point is he I'm sure will be fancying the job. No sign of fatigue, none of that.
No, I mean, as much as anyone backstage when we were chatting before we came on, I put forward the theory that, you know, the difference
58.
might be that John might get jaded as the night went on. Well, none of that is the... He's come alive, actually, from 5-3 down. It's the opposite.
$39. 44. $45. 52.
He would have rather had the red that's nearest the cluster. The outside one, yes, he's on it, but it's a bit straight. There's not that much he can do with the cue ball. And the pot's a bit more acute. See there, he's compromised as far as position.
53.
This is going to be a tough stretch. All right, he will be playing it dead weight as possible in terms of pocket weight. But can he reach it?
John Higgins, 53.
Just when he was looking very good. There might be a bit to run in this frame now. We know what black over either corner can spell. Under normal circumstances, John would be tempted to have a go at the ready. He may still do that. There is obvious value to far corner. Neil just hoping for some kind of slip up. But he's absolutely middled that one. What a pot again. Oh, he's feeling confident. Now, the black, no problem. It's not easy to get the desired contact on the underside of the five together. Can he get the underside of them? Ah. Not this time.
8. John Higgins, 8.
Yeah, Neil checking the numbers. No problem with points if he gets his chance, but he doesn't want to be putting the shot to nothing and the cue ball end up in the baulk cushion. So he's got to tread carefully. And that's why he hung the pace off it. What a shot. And the blue is on, which helps with the points. He's just checking now. Yeah, if the black goes to left corner, he's in business here. I know the red against the pink is a problem, but that'll keep for now.
Sort of position where you'd fancy Higgins to clear up. He's not the only player though who can do it.
Sam.
No, he's perfect here. This next shot, black to red on the end cushion, is the key. Because
50.
if he gets any kind of decent angle on it just off straight, he's guaranteed the low black to release the other.
$22. 23.
Here it is then. You almost play to cannon this full ball, this red, hoping to get it half ball either side. If you do that, you'll be on it. Half ball, perfect. Should win now.
30.
John Higgins had 2 good chances
31.
in this frame. Of course, he made 53. Potted that wonder red into the green pocket, but just didn't get into the bunch of reds from the black. Robertson with the shot to nothing seems to have led to something very special. It's been a really good match.
36.
But Neil Robertson has it in his hands to get it won here without, after all, the need for a decider.
38. 41.
Shouldn't be a problem, the pink being in close proximity. You're basically playing for a straight blue here. Even if you finish marginally low on it, it's not a problem, and that is absolutely perfect.
$50.
Well, the great players make a dash for the winning line when they see it. Neil Robertson has done precisely that. Because it looked for all the world like it was going 5-all. The black is for victory. And in it goes.
63 frame of match.
Terrific contest, and it goes to Neil Robertson by 6 frames to 4. So the semi-finals of the Champion of Champions, Judd Trump against Zhao Xingtong, Neil Robertson against Mark Selby. What a weekend it's going to be.
63 Premier match. Neil Robertson, 51. Thank you, Neil.
Oh, tremendous snooker tonight from our group finalists. And it was Neil Robertson with a classy 91% pot success and a 97% positional success who eased into Saturday's semi-final, free scoring and a couple of centuries along the way. And I'm pleased to say that Neil has joined us now in the studio along with Ken and other Neil. Congratulations. You look like you're enjoying it out there. How did it feel?
Yeah, it was good. I think you know, it's tough on John because he only just got back from China. I got back on Friday, so I had a couple more days to sort of recover. But yeah, I thought he looked really good. But then I think there was a couple of tired misses in there from him as well. We both made a couple of unforced errors, but I thought, apart from that, I thought there was a lot of really good stuff out there.
You should never play poker because when you do make the odd, and I must say the very odd little mistake, which allowed John in, you could tell it was written all over your face.
Yeah, because there was a couple. I mean, the one in the when I was on 60 something, Like, I never do that. I just sort of like just took the red completely for granted, and maybe would have gone in on the Monday or Tuesday, then tightening up a little bit, and I was up off the shot, and even John was about to say 63, like he actually went 60, and then the red rattled a miss. So. It was just a couple little concentration errors, really, which is a little bit annoying, but. It's not easy when you play, obviously, earlier, and then, it's 2 matches in one day. It's a lot of frames, so, but I feel really good.
Well, you look really good. You look confident. You're playing at a really fast pace, 19 seconds a shot, but you look like you're almost back to your best now. I mean, that win in Riyadh must have given you the confidence, that you sort of were missing for a little while, even though you won a couple of tournaments last year as well.
Yeah, I think that was like a big win. Yeah. Obviously, a Grand Prix, World Grand Prix, played really well, like, English Open. But I thought that, when you can stand up to the test that Ronnie sort of gave me when I was 7-2 up, and then he reeled off 5 frames in what felt like 20 minutes. When you can sort of win a final 10-9 when you've had that thrown at you, I think that was the big sign for me.
But how was it after Riyadh? You had a little break. Is that to do with maybe not being so motivated to play in everything, or what was the story?
No, I mean, I just wasn't mentally fit enough to play in Wuhan, which was just a few days after. And also, I got my Medal of the Order of Australia, so I had to go to Australia, so I missed Wuhan.
Yes.
I arrived the day before I was playing my match in the English Open from Australia, so that was essentially a wipeout. And then, unfortunately, got really ill before Northern Ireland, so I had to withdraw from that. So there's nothing that I kind of chose to withdraw from, arguably maybe Wuhan. But I don't think it's the end of the world to miss a few events. The schedule is so busy.
Let's take a look at some of the nice stuff in that last frame, because you must be pleased to avoid going into that deciding frame.
Could have been a decider, couldn't it? Had this shot gone better?
Yeah, I was kind of wanting him to go for that previous red, but obviously the value was there. I mean, the thing is, he was forced to open the reds then off the safety, and so. I really committed to it, and good blue afterwards as well, sort of set me on my way. And the last shot to get the cannon was nice, and not exactly the easiest black in the world to leave. So I thought just float it in Mark Williams style, and glad it went in.
And we'll see you on Saturday night up against your old mate Mark Selby. We've seen some great tussles between the two of you over the years.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's we get along so well together. Away from the table, but as soon as we shake hands, then it's it's all on. So he's a wonderful player. He had a great win the other night with Mark Williams. That was a great match as well. So I think there's been a lot of really close and exciting matches so far this week.
Away from the table, what's sort of your practice routine now? How much sort of hours are you putting in? I know you're working with Joe Perry a little bit more now as well.
It's pretty much just all solo practice. Like, you can't. Nobody schedules sort of work where you can sort of practice with other people. I practiced with Zach Zuridi a lot the last couple of years, but sort of when I'm not playing, he's like sort of got to qualify for something, and sort of with the amount of matches that I'm playing, like doing the solo practice is fine.
So Joe doesn't get the queue out and have a game with you?
No. He got the first 147 at his club, and he says even if I make more 147s than what he has at his club, he's never going to remove himself from top.
I wonder, like, obviously Zach Shurty beat you recently, and I wonder, you practice with someone like that, does you think it might bring the margin between you two closer, perhaps?
Maybe, but I mean, Zach's a great practice partner, and he's such a nice guy. I got to know him really well, and he played great against me. He sort of showed what he could do at the Worlds, right? He had 4 tons in 5 frames against Ding. He's a great player. No, you could argue that when you're practicing with people, perhaps they're more comfortable when you're playing events, but it's good to have a couple of really good practice partners as well.
Great stuff. Well done tonight. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday night. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll preview tomorrow's first semi-final as the world #1 takes on the world champion. It's Judd Trump versus Chao Xin Tong, and it has the potential to be the game of the tournament so far. Hello, welcome back. Well, we now know our last 4 in this year's Champion of Champions, so let's hear from one of tomorrow night's semi-finalists, Judd Trump, who spoke to Rob and reflected on life on and off the table.
Judd Trump, first player into the semi-finals of the Champion of Champions 2025.
Judd, here we are, another big event, another major semi-final on the verge of a huge showdown potentially on Sunday. Does this position ever get tiresome or tedious? Because even though you're only, in your mid-30s, you've been doing this for a long, long time now.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's kind of... there's a lot of ups and downs during the season, so anytime you can reach a final, you have to really kind of cherish that. And yeah, there's probably a lot more low points than there is high points. So anytime you can play in such a kind of prestigious event and still be there at the end of the week, you're doing something right.
But it's different now, isn't it? Because you're based in Dubai, what do you do when you come over for a week-long event? If you have a couple of days between matches, where do you go?
Yeah, I mean, now arrived the day before, fly back from Dubai, get as much sleep as I can on the plane, and then at a tournament, if I've got days off, it's just kind of hanging around, going to the gym, practice, and just simple things, watch a bit of the other snooker as well. So, yeah, very easily pleased.
Are you happy with the move? Are you content over there?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy. I think, even though it's kind of been officially since the end of March, April this year, from January last year is when I've kind of been out of the country. So I've won a lot of big events since I've been out of the country, and a lot happier now from my time away from snooker and my off time and getting to be in the sun a little bit more.
Do you get a little bit more anonymity over there? Do you like perhaps not being recognised as much?
Yeah, I think there's definitely that factor. I think it comes to the point in the UK or in Bristol, wherever it is, you can't kind of go about your daily life like unnoticed. You're always you go for breakfast, you go anywhere, there's going to be someone staring or someone shouting or something. It just gets a little bit uncomfortable. And it's nice to be in Dubai, be able to walk down the street and not have that kind of thing and just feel a little bit more relaxed. So there's still a lot of it when you come back to a tournament, and it's nice to be able to kind of step away from that at some point as well.
And I guess one of the most important things you've got to sort out is Jack having access to where you practice in Dubai, because Jack's been a huge part of that success, and you've got to get him in a position where he's able to come to Dubai regularly. That needs to be sorted quite soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tricky season for me. I think obviously with the queue, and then obviously having my brother not being able to practice anywhere near as kind of the same level of concentration when you're on your own is not quite the same. So yeah, it's been a couple of months now. We're looking to kind of sort it as soon as possible. I think if it's not before the UK, it will be after the UK, and then second half of the season, hopefully there'll be no more excuses. I can sort the queue issues, back to normal practice. But yeah, I mean, I've tried my hardest. You're going to go through spells in life where everything's not perfect around you, and it's just how you deal with that. Just try not to make any excuses. I'm an adult now, and it's the same for everyone. There's always stuff going on. So even though it's not been perfect, I've probably had kind of a perfect 5 or 6 years before that. And hopefully second half of the season, if I can't win one of the next few titles, then I can do well in the second half of the season.
And therefore, have those wins almost meant twice as much because of the fact that you've shared the journey and shared those occasional spotlight moments with him?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of times and it's the same for every player, where you go to different countries or different parts of the world, and you're kind of there on your own and you win on your own. And sometimes you win, you're picking up a trophy, but it's quite a lonely procedure. You go back to your room and it's all kind of said and done, and you just go a bit flat. But when you've got someone, your brother or family, and I think we've seen it just a couple of weeks ago in Northern Ireland, it was nice for Jack Lazowski to get his first win on kind of UK soil, rather than over in China on his own. So I think it's about kind of being able to share those memories and those special achievements with your family.
Coming back to this week, your record in this event is absolutely brilliant. I mean, you're one match away from a 6th final. Even some of the years you've lost, you've produced great moments. What about that 147 in Bolton, albeit that Ronnie won the title that year, and you've played some absolutely epic matches. Again, another one you lost rather than the year you won was when you and Robbo went toe-to-toe, one of the greatest matches ever. What is it about the Champ of Champs that seems to fire you up so much? Straight down to the single table, no messing about, top quality opponents?
Yeah, I think it was an event I kind of struggled with in the first few years. My record was quite bad, I think, and then the last maybe 6, 7, 8 years has been very good. I think I've got a lot more relaxed at playing in these kind of big one-table setups. I think same with the Masters, same with the Shanghai Masters. I think I used to put too much pressure on myself and be so kind of hungry and determined to win that it was kind of backfiring. And now I'm a lot more relaxed when I come in. I feel like I don't have a lot left to prove, and I think when I kind of mix it up against the best players in the world, just 16 people, one table or 2 tables, however many it is, it kind of brings the best out of me now. And I think when it is down to that one table is when I kind of feel the most at home and when I'm able to kind of relax and play my game.
This is going to be a cracking night, you and Zhao Xiantong. Now that you're based in the Middle East and you're still spending loads of time in China, have you had a real sense of just how significant his victory at the Worlds was over on that side of the world?
I think if whoever won it, whoever was going to be the first, it was going to be big. But I think because of his style of play, is probably a little bit more easy on the eye than some of the other players as well. I think you're in the early days of how soon can things happen after that. It's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, and you'll probably see the significance of that win. So I think already last tournament winner from China, it's just going to happen more and more often now. Some of the talent is incredible, and I think maybe before they maybe lacked the belief because it hadn't been done before. Now it's been done. You're just going to see it happen more and more often now. I think more and more tournament winners, more and more in the top 16, and hopefully in the future, I think more tournaments out in China as well.
Well, it's going to be a great occasion to see the two of you go toe-to-toe. We miss you, not being in the UK, but it's great to see you at these big events. Good luck for this and the rest of the year.
Cheers, Rob. Thank you.
That was lovely. It was great to hear Chad talking to Rob there. He seems in such a great place and enjoying life and not putting a ridiculous pressure on himself. He seems very happy in Dubai, and that will come through on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, once they sort of, I think living over there, you can be a different maybe a lot of focus and attention here, so he can sort of relax there. He's in the sun. I mean, what's not to like over there? It's amazing. But he still has a wonderful app. But whatever about his success that he's already achieved and achieved great things, he still has a wonderful sort of appetite for more success, more trophies, and that's what great champions are like.
It's interesting when he talks about Jack, and we see the same with Kyron, with his brother, and we're seeing it with Neil Robertson, with Joe in his corner as well. How important is it to have somebody really solid, somebody that you absolutely trust in your corner, keeping the pressure on you, but at the same time just giving you that support when you need it?
Yeah, I think that's really been the making of Judd. He's always been a great player. From 14, we knew he was one of the great talents in the game. But since Jack, his brother, has got involved and devoted his own life to what Judd is doing, then he's been a lot better player. And I've said this before, Jack just does his job. He watches from the back row, not the front row. He's not looking for any reflected glory. He's just there for his brother. They're a great team. They go everywhere together. And obviously, as you mentioned there, he's not quite had that relationship in the last few months because of maybe visa problems in Dubai. But they're a good team, understated. And I said the other day, actually, Judd doesn't get involved in a lot of the controversies. Doesn't give a lot of sound bites that other players might do, and he just plays the game. And you've got to love that. He's not winning at the moment, but that's just that's a short-term problem.
I tell you what, we've got a cracking semi-final tomorrow night. Judd Trump, world number 1 against Zhao Xiantong, the world champion. Mouth-watering, isn't it?
Yeah, can't wait. Two wonderful players. The way they play the game as well is so good to watch. So exciting, be great for the crowd. we have 4 world champions in the semi-final, 3 left-handers, and then of course Mark Selby. So it's a beautifully set up.
I think that's an intriguing one tomorrow. You know, I mean, Juddy's a slight favourite, but I think out of respect only, I think it'll do well to win. Actually, the way I saw Jin Tong playing the other day, what a match! That's so interesting. A new world champion playing the world #1. You can't ask for any more, I don't think.
Exactly right. Well, just a reminder then, we are back here tomorrow evening. No snooker tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of racing though at Cheltenham, but you can join us at 6:45. Judd Trump against Chao Jin Tong for a place in the Champion of Champions final. Thanks to the guys. You'll be Rishi tomorrow night. I'll see you Saturday. Bye for now.